Hey everyone, it's Christian and Corey from SuperKamiGuru9000, and this is our review of Naruto Chapter 587. I don't know what it is.
It's a convoluted plot point is what it is. A menagerie of ridiculous flowcharts. So A goes to B, which overlaps C, except after C. But what happens is when you have your A and your A, no, wait, and then B is over C, A to A, B, C, A, B, B, C, C, Izanami. And then they overlap and then they meet, then you get a C.
and a B. D to the A.
D?
Izanami.
Izanami. Izanami. At the beginning of the chapter, we finally get to figure out when Izanami actually took place, because Sasuke's like, dude, when did you use that technique? And apparently it was at that one point where Kabuto jumped up onto the ceiling and he stabbed Itachi. So, you know, sucks to be him. But that's when we get this huge explanation about Izanami. And, you know, Naruto, they love to show us flowcharts to sort of explain things and streamline things. And you know what? This felt like I literally was in fucking class this week because it was just really, really convoluted. I read it a lot of different times. And we also need to keep in mind that this is just an English translation, so this could change sometime in the future. But it starts off where he's explaining how there's this timeline. There's A, and then there's A.
Izanami is a loop that you're stuck in, and that's it.
That's it. They go through all this explaining, and you know what? There's this one little bubble panel that's just sitting in the black that says, Izanami catches them in a loop. That's all they needed to say, and you know what? That's just the way it is. This dominates like the first half of the chapter, and then after that, we get more flashbacks about Kabuto because, of course, they're trying to tell us a little bit more about Izanami and how it works. And they have this other explanation where it has to do with the Uchiha clan in the past, where Izanami is like the counter to Izanagi, and it's ridiculous.
It's like if two time travelers start fighting, what do they come up with to stop this weird sort of like space-time continuum battle they're having?
When you start bringing like the time stuff into this,
it gets a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, time travel just, you know, already makes almost zero sense when you really think about it. But now that you have this eye technique, it's actually, I don't think it even is an eye technique. I think he calls it a kinjutsu. So I think that's pretty interesting to know. This could be a translation error, I'm not sure. But, you know, it's just ridiculous.
We're also treated to more flashbacks of Kabuto after just getting done with other Kabuto flashbacks. So, yay! These flashbacks are pretty much everything Kabuto has done in the past. And you see these words underneath, like, notice me, or, you know, I'm important. And this is kind of going along with the themes we're seeing that Kabuto needs to find himself. And instead of using everyone else's powers to make him be noticed, he needs to take up, you know, that job himself with powers he's created. I don't know, I kind of felt like some of these flashbacks are just like a way to fill a few pages.
That's exactly what they are. They're a way to fill a few pages. If there's anything I can say, I do like the brand new inking that they did on the flashbacks because it made them look really cool, but otherwise, pretty much stuff that we've already seen. There is actually one little cool moment between Itachi and Sasuke. Yes, Sasuke actually does get to actually say something in this chapter. Itachi's like, dude, don't put me up on a pedestal. I'm not perfect, alright? You don't need to be the same way as me. And before he can even finish the sentence, this is when Kabuto immediately snaps out of the Izanami and, you know, he starts to attack again. But things just don't work. Itachi launches this, like, water technique at him, fucks him up even more because he's able to read him with his Sharingan and everything. And the whole point of this flashback is just, it's these two ninja, and it looks like they're in this battle right now. And one of them is commenting that it's already past 9, and they're just saying, what are you going to do when you get home from the war? And he's just saying, when I get home from my orphanage, my brother, when he comes home, he can look after you. And I don't know. This is just weird because this is a character we really didn't get to know too well. But, you know, who knows? Maybe this will lead into something else. But the end of the chapter is just Kabuto being pissed off even more and Itachi declaring that he's finally going to stop the Edo Tensei.
Okay, so I don't really, truly 100% know how I feel about this chapter because on some ways I was mad by it because I was kind of expecting some more. Yeah, of course I was expecting explanation for Izanami, but I was kind of expecting something to happen. But instead we got explanation, which took up about half the chapter, and then Kabuto flashbacks, and then his buddy from the orphanage shows up, and then like Itachi finally gets around to saying he's going to stop the Edo Tensei at the end. And I was kind of like, it felt like half of a chapter. It didn't feel like a whole chapter by the end of it. And it's not that I'm mad I had to read Naruto this week, it's just it wasn't that great.
I agree. It definitely didn't live up to my expectations, but you got to look at it in this way. A couple weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago, we heard about Izanami for the first time. After that, we're then treated to some story flashbacks with Kabuto, and those were entertaining, but we still want to get back to the main story. Then we finally get back to the main battle again, which is pretty cool, and then he finally activates Izanami. And like we said, we were going to get an explanation, and we did, but it's like, you were waiting to see this cool technique. Now here's 6 pages of flowcharts to read. And it's just like, ugh. Great, this is going to be fun. And, it just felt confusing to me. Maybe I should just read it a couple more times. But if I'm like in a hurry or something and I just want to know what's going on in the story right now and I'm reading this and I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck is going on right now? What is all this AA, BB, CC shit? And, I'm sure a lot of you are probably going to understand it way better than we are, but, to me, it was just confusing, convoluted. I just wish more would have happened. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I want more. And, the biggest thing about this chapter, really, I think, is the conversation that Itachi and Sasuke had, where he's like, dude, I'm not perfect. Don't put me up on a pedestal. I felt like that was the most genuine moment of the chapter. And then, of course, the big bit at the end where he's like, I'm going to stop the Edo Tensei, which I still don't think should happen, but who knows? I'm still thinking
we need to see Edo Madara fight some more. It's going to mess up the whole war in some ways, at least through the story that we have set up right now. If all the Edo Tenseis go away,
it's definitely messing up Kabuto's war. He even mentions that in the chapter. He's like, "Shit! If I wasn't here right now, I could have already won this war by now." So again, that's just a testament to how disgustingly strong Itachi is.
Hey guys, if you enjoy these reviews, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. It always helps. And until next time, SuperKamiGuru9000, out.